Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content to wrap up the week is something they tried to sneak under the radar. The ATF just released a list of gun shops at the behest of the USA Today, all around something under the Biden administration called the Name and Shame campaign. It's directly from gun control orgs. You need to see this one. Everything will be linked in the description box below, and please send this one out so everyone is aware of what just happened. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. And this content is made possible by American Hartford Gold. I'm going to say a quick word from them, and then we are going to show you what's going on. And the content today is brought to you by American Hartford Gold. And brothers and sisters, with everything popping off around the world, wars cracking off. We've got inflation issues. We've got stock market volatility. We have cash concerns. We have oil concerns. It's a good time to take a look at least know your options with American Hartford Gold. They are dedicated to offering gold, silver, platinum coins and bars for your investing needs. Whether you want to do it delivered to your door or you want an IRA, Roth IRA, 401k, TSP, they've got options. This is something you guys should check out. At American Hartford Gold, they aim to educate clients about investments in the precious metal industry, strive to provide unparalleled customer service built on trust, integrity, and absolute transparency, while holding a goal of achieving 100% customer satisfaction. Click the link in the description or call 844-727-3199. That's 844-727-3199 or text Langley to 65532. Again, that's 844-727-3199 or text Langley to 65532. All right, my beautiful brothers and sisters, we are talking about something that is not necessarily a good look. The USA Today did a Freedom of Information request of the ATF, and the ATF acquiesced to that request and released a list of gun shop owners and gun shops that would be falling under the Name and Shame campaign from the Biden administration in coordination with gun control groups. This one you need to see. All right, check this out. Here's the article that we're talking about. Again, snuck in under the radar on Friday. This just released. Gun shops that sell the most guns used in crime revealed in new list. Misleading title, but we'll get to that in a second. Let me show you two things that I want to make sure I get out in the first part of this because this is a misleading article. ATF representatives are quick to note that being on their Demand To list itself is not an indication of wrongdoing. Shops and pawn dealers in the program represent about 3% of the roughly 80,000 licensees nationwide, so 3%, and it's no indication of wrongdoing, but they still release the list. But publicizing the Demand To list, he said, is misleading. Quote, the fact you're on the program doesn't mean you're a bad dealer or anything like that. It just means you fit within the parameters. No one in the chain of commerce knows specifically why a firearm is being traced. It's just that it was traced. Now, I wanted to say that out front because now we're going to dive into the details of what they're saying. Again, this article doesn't necessarily say, hey, they didn't actually do anything wrong, and there's no proof of them doing anything wrong, so this is just a list they released. No, it says, sell the most guns used in crime. That might be a little misleading, but let's dive in. Let's see if they're truly as misleading as we think that they are. Check this out. This is what precedent has been before Biden. Which gun stores sell the most crime guns has been kept a secret for more than 2 decades, since 2003 under the Bush administration. But a Freedom of Information Act request from USA Today unearthed a glimpse of them and showed that the vast majority of guns used in crimes are sold by a small fraction of America's gun shops. Again, not used in crimes anytime a trace was run. Those are two different things. Not only that, that's kind of beside the point that the ATF acquiesced and let this out. Just saying. Let's continue. Among the more than 1,300 outlets targeted in 2023 by the ATF, many of them are the largest sellers, Bass Pro, blah, 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 with some less known stores. It's across the gambit. So this isn't some shady dealer on the kitchen table or anything they like to tell you. This is places like Cabela's and Bass Pro Shop and other shops of that size. This is not small. Again, it's all about firearm tracing. It's not about actual proof and crime usage. Again, even if it was, you're still only talking about 3% of 80,000 shops. Does that sound like what the gun controllers tell you every single day, is that it's these gun shops are rogue dealers? 3% are on a, hey, heads up list? Not a you absolutely did something list, because you'd be out of business. The ATF would make sure of it, I promise. Let's continue. Oh, this is what the NSSF has released around this. The release of store names is inappropriate and counterproductive, according to the National Shooting Sports Foundation Senior Vice President Larry Keane. He questioned whether the ATF broke the law by doing so. If shops are named publicly and there are negative articles suggesting they're bad guys, they won't want to cooperate with the ATF as they've done in the past. Well, I mean, can you blame them? This article itself of what Larry Keane just said, well, they might indicate they're bad guys when they're really not. Gun shops that sell the most guns used in crime revealed in new list. Well, mission accomplished, USA Today. Way to go. But yeah, so, you think ATF's going to get cooperation on this? No, it's counterproductive to his point. Now, here's the criteria of which they're saying are bad dealers, okay? The criteria for being included on the list is relatively simple. At least 25 guns traced to a crime over a year that were purchased within the past 3 years. It's known in the law enforcement lingo as time to crime, which is ATF related. A short period is an indicator of the illegal trafficking of guns. Now, keep in mind, you're being targeted by traffickers who are lying to you about straw purchases, about misrepresenting who they are, where the gun's going to end up. There's an entire trafficking ring that the ATF knows about, and they shut down the operation called Project Thor. We've covered it significantly a large amount of time. That was a weird sentence, but whatever, you get the point. We spent a significant amount of time on it, covering it. But it's a little weird to me that they published this list all of a sudden when they could have said, that's against congressional law. Anyway, let's keep going. Gun violence prevention groups, which have pushed for years for more accountability for gun shops, said the release of the list should incentivize shops to get off of it. Okay. Quote, "It's noticed that for whatever reason you're being targeted by traffickers," said Josh Sheriff, legal counsel for Brady. That's a gun control group. "A responsible business person would say, I don't want to supply the criminal market. That's not why I'm in business." You're kind of assuming the intent there. And if it's a notice that for whatever reason you need to know why you're on that list, leaking it from the ATF to the media is probably not going to help you a lot. And the gun controlling groups know about it. Just saying. They probably got a copy themselves in their inbox. Anyway, here's the last thing. This one kind of flies in the face of what the gun controllers will tell us consistently and the politicians. The ATF's most recent nationwide gun tracing analysis showed that pistols were by far the most common type of gun tied to crime. About 3/4 as opposed to rifles, revolvers, or shotguns. That likely explains, that part doesn't matter. Handguns are 3/4 of all the crime in the United States. Then why are we trying to ban ARs so bad? Doesn't seem to check out, does it? Anyway, that's a different video for a different time. That's what I want to bring you on this Friday night. Wrap the week up. The ATF just acquiesced to a request from the USA Today, to be specific, about gun shops and list of who's on a list from ATF, and ATF did it. They released it. And here we go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.